Fight fans, it is finally here. UFC 251. You're going to get your boys together. Maybe you're not. Maybe you're just going to quarantine and be by yourself. But you want to watch the fights. You want to make money. There's no better place to do it than with DraftKings. Bet on all the big fights from the prelims to the main card. Bet right with DraftKings. All you got to do is download the app, start betting. There's a bunch of dogs. Get on it, fellas. Get on it, ladies and gentlemen, get on it. Download the top-rated DraftKings Sportsbook app now. Use the code FIGHTER when you sign up for limited time. All new users can get a sign-up bonus of $1,000. That's right. DraftKings Sportsbook has a sign-up bonus up to $1,000. Just enter the code FIGHTER when you sign up only at DraftKings Sportsbook. UFC 251, make bank, do it with DraftKings.
Yeah. The first thing I'd like to say is that I heard through the grapevine that one cat got a little older on Friday.
Yeah, I got a little older.
Last Friday, Cat.
It was good. I was with my family for a hot minute. We're all kind of quarantining together, but didn't really do much.
Yeah. Well, I'd like to sing a little happy birthday for. Oh,
tight move, dude.
Yes.
3, 2, 1.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to Kat. Happy birthday, dear Kat. Happy birthday to you. You're 23?
25.
25. I don't remember that. What's it like?
That's so young.
It's great. I still don't really have any bodily aches yet.
Yeah.
No.
That's because you don't have COVID.
Hopefully I don't. If I do, I have very mild symptoms.
Have you been feeling sick, Kat?
I have been feeling a little warm. I've had a light headache and I've been lightheaded, but other than that, no. I don't have loss of scent or taste or anything like that.
You're probably asymptomatic if you are exposed. Everybody that I've been in contact with after Texas so far has tested completely negative and had no symptoms whatsoever, which is a big relief for me. And I will say that I've been a little humbled, and I apologize because I was not careful enough when I came back. It's one thing to take a risk on my own, which I've always taken responsibility for, to say, I'm going to do stand up, and if I catch it, I catch it. But I wasn't thinking on many levels, which was dumb. I had to go see my parents on Friday. It never dawned on me to be even more careful. I exposed some friends without thinking about it. So all of that stuff was my mea culpa. I was wrong, and I apologize. I think I was inconsiderate, and I've been humbled because this is lingering for me. It's not like I'm over it. I'm fine, but I can see people not being fine. And so obviously, as we know, if you're older, you have existing morbidities, it's very dangerous. So I've been a little humbled. I will continue to do stand up as long as those states allow me to. I do want to reiterate that Brennan and I, when we went to Texas, we've been to Houston, we've been to Arizona. We had to go ahead to go do stand up by the Board of Health, by the club, and by the state. Okay? That's how we earn a living. And because Brennan and I looked at the stats, well, part of it, that's how we looked at the stats, and we looked at the risk. We chose to make that decision. I take full responsibility for it. Could I have been more careful coming back? Yes, and I wasn't, and I apologize. So that's what I have to say.
Yeah, I mean, if you would have told me that I'd have to be away from my family for 2 weeks because of this, I wouldn't have done any of the shows. I don't know if I'm going to do more shows in July either. I don't know if it's worth it. So. Well,
yeah, I'm going to have to push Addison, but Brennan, you now have the antibodies.
Yeah, so. I'm aware. It's more of I would be fine. It's more I don't know.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, that's how I feel. It's like, I'm gonna sit over here because my face looks better. Yeah, I think I feel like I know what you're saying. Like I just feel like there's a well, it's too fucking bright. That is the worry, right? That's always the worry. How the fuck are we gonna? How do you keep other people, safe? But I do have to say that I think that anybody who has antibodies is probably maybe a smart way to do it is you can go back into the workforce.
Yeah, agree. Agree. I mean, I do it because I like doing it. I don't have to do it, and it's just like, is it? I don't know. I'm weighing the pros and the cons and figuring everything out.
Yeah. It's a little humbling when you get sick.
Yeah, I've been fortunate enough where it hasn't been too bad at all, thank God. But
yeah.
If I could redo it, I wouldn't have went. It's just not worth it to risk my family and stuff like that. And I really didn't think about it. All I was really thinking about was like you and me and doing the shows and
everyone. I didn't think about it either.
And then I get home and it's like, fuck, dude, I got 2 little kids. If my girl gets it, the family's super fucked because she takes care of everyone, So it's like, and then, of course my in-laws can't come over because my father-in-law, who's a cop, he has a lung issue. So it's like, all right, well, he can't come over and see his grandkids now. So it's like, just stupid, man.
Yeah, I literally didn't think of any of this because I'm an idiot. Like I'll be honest. I was going to see my parents on Friday, and they're 80, and I didn't even think of that. So I was very tone deaf to it. So yeah, I've been humbled. I'm sorry.
Stupid. If someone's like, hey, you can tour these 3 cities, or you can wait till August and tour when it's safe. Because if
it's not safe though. The problem is it's not safe, and the problem is it's never going to be safe. And I'm not waiting. I have to say this too. I'm not waiting until a vaccine comes out. I can't.
No, that'd be.
And I don't think any of us can. I think that this is the dilemma that we're in as an economy and as a world. I think if you're a journalist, if you're a politician, if you are somebody who has a job, no matter what, if you have reserves, you can talk about a shutdown lasting 2 years. I think the most people can't.
No, that's unrealistic.
Yeah. So
yeah. I
don't think nothing says August or September is safer than fucking July.
Yeah.
So I wonder if somebody. I'm not hearing alternatives.
Well, yeah, herd immunity. Hopefully, enough people get it. There's a herd immunity, which they think happened in New York because they had such a spike there, and now it's down. So they're thinking that's what happened there. So
the good news is the death rate's down 92-point-something%.
Yeah. Correct.
So we're not going to make this a COVID thing. I just wanted to apologize. Eat a little crow. Sorry to be a fucking idiot, but that's not the first time for me anyway. What else went on this weekend? Because I've been in my fucking house doing nothing.
Dude, it's brutal. Brutal. I get guys in hazmat suits right now in the house. Like, they have this weird, like, smoke thing they're going over the whole house with. It's a nightmare.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
That's cool.
It gets rid of 99.9% of COVID in the house.
What's that?
It's supposed to get rid of 99.9% of COVID.
There we go. Now you can see my face, dude.
At least you got the big UFC this weekend. Hopefully we'll be able to do a fight companion with Rogan.
That'd be good. I still got to test negative, though. I got to go get tested.
Yeah, I talked to my doctor about that. He said the issue is, when you take the test, he said sometimes when you have it, it could still show that you, even though you don't have symptoms, you're not contagious, it could still show up 3 to 6 months after.
It's a weird, wily fucking virus, man.
Yeah, that's what he's saying. He's like, those tests aren't the end-all, be-all, so you got to be careful.
I've talked to a number of doctors who are like, a lot of them just shake their head and they're like, maybe, I don't know, depends. It's like,
yep.
Oh, okay.
But the one thing the CDC says is, if it's 3 days without a fever, 3 days without any symptoms, between 8 to 14 days after you first got it, then you can go back in the world. So.
All right.
Who fucking knows?
All right. Brennan, UFC 251, stacked card. I got to be honest with you. Not a gambling man, but so intriguing because there are so many different factors and you can't bet on this unless you understand the game. But I there's one thing I love doing, and that's watching the UFC. I wonder if I could ever watch the UFC and make money at the same time using my knowledge of fighting.
I'm glad you brought this up. You should start using DraftKings. DraftKings, there's no better time to start than this Saturday, UFC 251s. You use DraftKings, man. Download the app, and all you got to do is bet on your faves. There's a bunch of underdogs. You could parlay it, make a ton of bank, man. Make bank. Download the top-rated DraftKings Sportsbook app now. Use the code FIGHTER when you sign up for limit time. All new users can get a sign-up bonus up to $1,000. That's right. DraftKings Sportsbook has a sign-up bonus up to $1,000. Just enter the code FIGHTER when you sign up only at DraftKings Sportsbook.
You and I have been known. I mean, you've been known, and some of our friends have been known to wager on fights.
I'm telling you, there's a lot of dogs. Here's the dogs for you. Masvidal, 3-1 underdog. Jose Aldo, underdog. Matt Holloway, underdog. So you got 3 dogs.
Those are good bets to take.
Paige Van Zant's the biggest undercard on the card. You must be 21 or older to enter. New Jersey, Colorado, PA only. Bonus comprised of first deposit bonus and first bet match, each up to $500. Deposit bonus requires 25 times playthrough. Restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for details. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
There you go. DraftKings. I'll tell you what, besides my toothbrush, I might use more than anything else. That's my Manscaped 3.0 or dude, whatever it is.
I've noticed your nose hairs aren't saying hello anymore.
Dude, I keep it trimmed. My eyebrows, my body hair, my butt hair, my sack is just as smooth as it gets, dude.
Oh, man, thank God for Manscaped. You got that Philly.
It's got a light on it, dude. It's got a light. It's got an adjuster, and you won't snag your nuts. That's a big deal. Dude, you ever snag your nuts? Because I have. It sucks.
You ever snag your nuts because you're cutting your nut hair with your lights off? Now you can do it in the dark.
Well, you can do it in the dark because it's got this tiny little light on it. It's awesome. So you can see all these stray hairs.
There's no reason to be hairy like a Russian anymore, dude. There's no reason to be that hairy anymore.
Like Andrei Arlovsky?
Dude, you don't want hair on your shoulders. You don't want neck hair, nose hair, body hair. You don't want your hairy bush. Thank God for Manscaped.
Well, the Manscaped is awesome for your nether regions, the regions you can't afford to nick. They have that patented technology that lets you not get nicked. That's a big deal.
Ryan, give them an offer, will you? Give them the offer.
I don't have the offer in front of me. I just go with what I know and what I have. I do this kind of stuff.
Well, it's manscaped.com. Promo code is FIGHTER, Brian. The promo code is FIGHTER.
Promo code is FIGHTER. Manscaped.com. There is no better machine for keeping you scaped as a man than Manscaped.
What else are you going to use? What the hell else are you going to use besides Manscaped?
I know. It's funny when you see it and you wonder why it wasn't invented before. Where you're like, why wasn't I first to the – like, this is a great idea.
Yeah, get the perfect package right now. Get 20% off and free shipping with the code FIGHTER at manscaped.com. Do yourself a favor. Always use the right tools for the job. That's 20% off free shipping with the code FIGHTER at manscaped.com. 20% off free shipping, manscaped.com. Use code FIGHTER. Trim your chesticles with the besticles.
That's right. It's get the perfect package for your package.
Yeah. Well, did you see the news? Masvidal's fighting?
Masvidal's fighting Usman. And I can't fucking wait. When is he fighting Usman?
Well, it sounds like you can wait because you have no idea when they're fighting. So,
when are they fighting?
Saturday.
Are they fighting this Saturday?
Sounds like you can definitely wait because you have no idea when they're fighting.
Well, that makes me very happy. You put all your money on who?
I wouldn't put money on anybody.
Just because
it's an MMA fight. I wouldn't put any money on fights.
Yeah. Masvidal, it's just going to be a wrestler against fucking striker, right?
Yeah. I mean, yeah. No, I mean, no. Hey, Nat, you did nothing on your birthday?
I did. Actually, I went and took a car ride to Laguna Beach just to kind of see the outside without interacting with someone. I forced my sister to drive me everywhere that day.
Oh, your sister was your little Uber driver?
Yeah, it's great. I haven't had to drive since she's moved in, so I'm just kind of forcing her to do all the shit that I don't want to do.
And she's not in school right now because there's no school anywhere.
Mm-hmm. She graduated this year, actually.
From high school?
Ohio State.
Ohio State?
Yeah.
Hey, this is awesome.
Yeah, she's a Buckeye.
This is awesome. This is awesome. But I wanted to talk a little bit more about Usman and Masvidal. I appreciate that Cat's telling you about that.
I don't. You just asked me it's a wrestler versus striker.
Well, in a lot of ways it is. In a lot of ways, you've got a much better wrestler fighting a much better striker. And that's a fair comparison. Now you have Usman who doesn't seem to get tired. He doesn't gas. I haven't seen cardio be an issue with Masvidal either. But I do think Usman is physically, he just seems so fucking huge compared to any 170-pounder.
Yeah, he's bigger for sure.
So the question is, I don't know, man. It's going to be really interesting.
The whole card's stacked. I can't wait.
Who else is on the card?
I'll pull it up.
Fill him in, Chin. I don't think they updated the main event yet for whatever reason on UFC.com. Oh, they did.
Did they?
I think so.
Let's see.
They didn't this morning when we were doing Below the Belt.
Yeah. There they go. They finally did it.
Ooh, they did it finally.
Main card.
That's a good fight. So the whole thing about Max Holloway having weight issues was fake?
That was fake. Yeah, that's from a troll account.
Fuck. Peter Yan, Jose Aldo.
Mm-hmm.
Whoa. Rose gets to fight Jessica again. Holy shit, I can't wait. Haven't heard from Paige Van Zandt in a while.
Yep.
Yeah, the whole card's stacked.
Mm-hmm.
Wins.
That's going to be great. I fucking thought Desimir went to a different fight league.
Who? Ozdemir?
Volkan, yeah. I thought he went to a different fight league for some reason.
No.
There you go.
Yeah, it's stacked.
Oh.
Hopefully we'll be able to do a companion for that because usually we just do fight nights, and that's a stacked pay-per-view.
Yeah, no shit. Good, that'd be really good.
And then you're only going to get Masvidal tomorrow if they both pass their COVID test once they arrive on Fight Island, too.
Oh, is that right?
They have to take it here, and then they have to fly there and take it again.
I feel like I'm in jail. Right? I feel like I'm not even talking to anybody right now. Chin, have you been quarantining?
Yeah.
Yeah, Chin's had the same symptoms as Stevie. He's had, like, the night sweats.
You have?
Last night and this morning, I didn't sleep at all last night. Maybe like 20 minutes, but then I did.
So how do you feel? Are you having a sympathetic sickness?
Right now, I feel better, but then I just developed a cough like this early, like 4 a.m. this morning. But I'm not coughing right now either. So wait, I wanted to ask you guys about the fever stuff. So is it just your head or is it your body?
I didn't really suffer from fever.
I don't either. Yeah, I didn't get a fever at all either. I have the temp thing, Jen, because I have to have it for my kid too, especially go to school. So we take his temp every day. So now the school he goes to, if they take their temp, if their temp's high, they get him out. They don't let him in the school. So before he enters the school, they run his temp. So before he goes, so we don't waste anybody's time, we always run his temp. Even before I had COVID or anything, we got to run his temp.
Okay, so it's during the year though. It's not your body. It's not a body.
No. Yeah, if you have fever, it'd be in your head. That's where you're gonna take your temp.
I think this thing manifests itself differently in a lot of different people.
Hey, how about Theo went home to his parents. You know, his mom's like 99 years old, and so I text Theo. I go because he got COVID tested, and I text him yesterday. I go, "Hey, dude, how you feeling?" And he just responds back, "Terrible," like all caps. I go, "Ah, shit." He goes. I go, "Well, what do you feel?" He goes, "My ass is really swollen." And then ... and my nose is really swollen ... and I have a mullet ...
And I have a mullet. Well, that's normal.
Sick. He goes, "No, but it's not good, man. I get this fat ass and this big nose." I was like, "Oh, but you're not sick." No, not sick like you.
I mean, I wake up a lot of times and I'm just stiff and fucking feel like shit generally. So you don't have energy or, you didn't sleep well. So now just add some to that. Chen, I think you're fine. Why are you not going to get tested?
I did.
You came back negative?
Oh, don't get me started on the test. They haven't given me my results yet, and they also haven't scheduled me for my second test. I was supposed to get both of them together, but they couldn't find someone. They never called me back, never texted me back. I was like calling them constantly. Finally, I get someone. They're like, we'll call you back. We'll call you back. They never call me back.
Hey, B, how has your appetite been?
Not very good.
Mine's.
Well, I can't taste or smell a fucking thing.
That's what's weird. I can't taste or smell anything, but I am just Cookie Monster over here.
I'll
through the roof.
If I had cookies, I would eat cookies right now. I might eat all the cookies. In fact,
you can't taste it.
Fucking fact, I might make a bunch of cookie dough.
What else are you gonna do? You know?
But I can't taste it.
So
it's just gonna feel like fucking dough in my mouth.
I know.
And that's a problem.
I wonder when the taste is gonna come back. My doctor said take zinc tablets, which I've been doing.
Me too. Ever since you told me that. They don't help at all.
Well, I don't know, dude. Who knows, dude?
Hey, this is the most boring podcast.
Oh, it's the worst. It's the worst podcast we've ever done.
This is good. This is the COVID podcast. And if you don't die of COVID, you'll die of boredom.
Let's go to some current events. Happens.
Current events. Talk to me about Whoop.
I'm going to talk to you about it, dude. While you're at home doing those workouts in your undies, do you know how many calories you're burning? Do you know if you got the proper rest last night?
No, I don't.
You don't, dude. And no one really does. We've just been bro sciencing our entire lives, dude.
I don't know what kind of strain I'm putting my body on. I don't know if I should train today because I don't have anybody monitoring that. Nobody's monitoring my heartbeat. Nobody's monitoring when I have a spike, when I don't, why I do.
And now what if I told you just wear a little black band around your wrist and it will monitor all that? I'm talking about Whoop, dude. I'm talking about Whoop, whoop.com.
WHOOP?
Yes, dude, Whoop. And it connects to your cell phone device. It monitors your heart rate 100 times per second to let you know your strain activity, your recovery. It even monitors your sleep cycle. You sleep with this thing on. You think you're in 8 hours of sleep. All the rest in the world, I got news for you. You're probably not, man. Take the bro science out of it. Whoop is the best athletic sports device you can wear these days. And
there was that golfer who found out he had COVID because it was measuring his heart rate and said, you may be sick.
Crazy, right? And also, you can wear it in the pool. You can wear it in the shower. You never have to take it off. It's waterproof. The battery lasts forever, 5 days.
5 days, yeah.
Yep, connect to your phone. Take the guesswork out, man. This is the best workout device I've ever used. I love these guys. Whoop.com, promo code FIGHTER. You save 15% off the entire damn sign-up sheet. All right? You sign up, you get access, 15% off. Whoop.com, promo code FIGHTER.
Okay. So have you guys heard about Kanye West coming out and saying that he wants to run for president in 2020?
Yes. It's insane.
Yeah. So he made an announcement saying that he wanted to run for president. Elon Musk has come out in full support of him on Twitter. So did his wife, Kim Kardashian. And as a joke, Tiffany Haddish came out and said that she will also be running for president in 2020, and Dave Chappelle is going to be running with her.
There you go.
I mean, what a shit show. You know what's scary is, I mean, if Trump can win, fucking Kanye can win.
Apparently he hasn't done anything leading up to this announcement to get him actually like on the polls. So
I don't think Kanye can win.
He has no idea what it entails. It's just.
I think Kanye also has a history of mental illness, and I don't think he's going to be. Americans are like, it's a good artist.
Mm-hmm. I mean, we thought that about Trump though, and then here we are, huh?
True.
Well, that's for sure. That's for sure. I remember I was the one who was always saying there's no way he's going to win.
Yeah, you're on record saying there's not a chance.
Not a chance. And then we had Chael Sonnen on who said he's going to win. I was like, no, and here's why. And I went through the whole the litany of reasons, and I was wrong. I mean, that's it. It's funny how when you live in Hollywood, you think that sometimes you start to think maybe this is fucking reality. And Hollywood's biggest problem, I was telling you this, is that they are putting out movies and TV shows that nobody's really watching. And now you add COVID to it, and they don't know how to get bonded, insured. And what's happening is YouTube and original content, people who are doing their own thing, are sort of killing the old Hollywood model. So that Hollywood then nominates 4 people who won Oscars, and nobody knows who they are. And nobody even goes to see those movies. Nobody went and saw Moonlight.
Well, no one watched the Oscars either. There's the
And nobody watched
rating.
the Oscars.
No.
So you have these people that are talking, and then, it's like even CNN. CNN is what people watch a lot of times when they're in the airport going from place to place. But CNN's ratings are super low. Tanked.
I wonder whose ratings are doing good, though.
Fox.
You hear all Fox's? Because it's positive? It's all pro-Trump.
Well, Tucker Carlson and certain Fox things are. Yeah, some of it's ridiculously blindly pro-Trump. But I think the country is still a little bit more conservative than people realize. I think that CNN, rightly or wrongly, CNSBC or whatever the fuck it's called in the other. The rightly or wrongly the perception is that they are they're not journalists, they're activists, they're blindly left-wing. And so when people see that or they hear that, it's a hard thing to lose. It's a hard thing to kind of shake.
I mean, even the ESPN ratings are down. Like, what's doing well right now,
Yeah, ESPN dedicated like 2 weeks to, I think, Black Lives Matter, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Apparently their ratings are
not good.
Not doing very well.
I don't know anything that's doing. I mean, the UFC's doing well.
Netflix?
Yeah.
Yeah, certain things. I mean, Netflix, like Tiger King, crushed it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I watched? I rewatched the Super Bowl yesterday.
Jesus Christ, dude.
It made me feel good. There were crowds.
There's nothing worse than old sports. I'll tell you what was weird was NASCAR with no crowd. It's just this giant, that Indy 500, whatever, is the largest crowd, the largest stadium in America. And
I've been to it.
No one's there.
I've been to it.
And then I watched Premier League soccer, and I heard a crowd. I'm like, oh, sick. There's crowds, but they're pumping sound in, so it seemed like a crowd.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Oh, that's so sad.
It's a bummer.
This is an unprecedented time.
I think Korean baseball has stuffed animals in the crowd.
They do.
Now.
Jesus Christ.
They do. Stuffed animals. We're being replaced. Human beings are robots.
I mean, I'll be interested to see what the NBA looks like, and I'm not just being a homer here, but I do think the UFC without a crowd is the best sport. Football without a crowd's going to suck. Baseball without a crowd's going to suck. Basketball's probably going to suck.
UFC, you don't really mind, do you?
No, because there's the cage there, and it's kind of like it's not. It still has a good vibe to it.
Yeah, Dustin Poirier said he'd would much rather fight without a crowd.
Because
it's just about
boxing
fighting.
Sucks without a crowd, though. That's what's interesting.
Yeah.
Have you tried watching boxing? It's so terrible.
No, I haven't. I mean, not without a crowd. But yeah, I rewatched. There's a documentary on the Buster Douglas Mike Tyson fight. That's what I've been watching. On
30 for 30.
Yeah, pretty interesting. Yeah. It's called 42-1 or something. Buster Douglas was no fucking joke, man. No fucking joke. Mm-hmm. But yeah.
I'm watching that You'll Hear Me in the Dark or something like that. That documentary on the Golden State rapist guy that they caught. You know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, the first episode was, getting into it. And the second episode, it's getting a little old now. It's just because he raped over 50 women, and it's all the survivors talking about how he did it. But he did it the same every time. So it's like after you hear the first 7.
So what would he do? What was his fetish? What was his fetish?
Raping girls.
But then he would kill their boyfriends or husbands?
No, he only killed 12. He raped over 50, killed 12.
12 women or men?
I think women. But then this is what's interesting. They found out he was a cop. So
an evil piece of shit.
Oh, dude, piece of shit. So he would scope out the houses, and because we're there in Sacramento, you could get access to the backyards because there's like this huge loop he would use to go down and escape. And there's bad fog in the 70s, so he could escape in the night. And then I guess he had a real small penis too.
He did?
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
So he would, but he was a sadist, right? He would make them stay there and put, tea cups and plates.
What's weird to me is like in the 70s, no one had guns or anything. It's like this serial rapist was going on. No one had alarms or guns or nothing, man. So he was able to get it done. It's terrible. He got away with it because they just caught him.
Didn't they see his face?
No, he wore a white ski mask.
God damn.
The only thing he knew is he had a little dick.
An evil man.
Dude, he would tie him up, walk around the house, go into the kitchen, drink their beer, come back. It's crazy, man.
Yeah. Well, serial killers and people like that are into power. They're into subjugating their victims.
It'd be tough to do it now, though, with cell phones and stuff like that. Like, you never really hear about a serial rapist these days. Because there's cameras everywhere now. There's security. There's guns. Like, it's just
that's the good thing about having a lot of cameras.
Yeah.
Is that you can, people are watching, so you can't get away with shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
So for all we talk about with privacy and stuff, the reason the mafia doesn't kill people anymore is because they can be seen. The reason we catch a lot of criminals like that, like serial rapists and stuff, is because there are cameras everywhere, and you can go, oh, well, that guy's there, and then you just follow the cameras. You can follow traffic cams and all that.
Yeah, I was watching the John Gotti. It's John Gotti Jr. and his dad, the Gotti story. It's John Gotti, in the 70s, 80s, and then early 90s in New York City. Yeah. It's crazy how famous he was.
Dude, I was in New York at that time.
Yeah, it's nuts, dude.
So I used to eat at a place called Cafe Sorrento, and it was right next door to the Ravenite Club, which was his club. I never saw Gotti, but I remember just when I was a young man eating outside, and I saw 2-3 dudes come out of that Ravenite Club. They were in suits, and they were guys built like you, and they were walking, and they were on their way somewhere. I never forgot it. I saw them, and I had a deep bone chill. Because I knew instantly they weren't just big guys, they were killers. And you could see it. If they came out of the Ravenite Club, you were like, there was always a guy who was a driver there and he had an earpiece. And he was there.
It's crazy to me that John Gotti, like, he was so beloved. Like, little Italy and New York loved the fuck out of him, man.
Yeah, because he was like, he would be hanging out and people, like, he'd eat dinner and stuff. And yeah. Well, Matthew Broderick was with Marlon Brando and they were eating. And at the time, Matthew Broderick was very famous, and Marlon Brando played the Godfather. So they were eating in New York. They were right next door, apparently. And a guy comes up and says, Mr. Gotti would like to invite you to the Ravenite Club. Say hello to you, have a drink. So Brando and fucking, they're like, all right. I mean, they're super famous. They're like, all right. So they get there, and they're playing cards. Oh, come on over, sit down. So now it's Brando, John Gotti,
Jesus.
His henchman, and fucking Matthew Broderick, who's an actor like me. He's like this kind of guy. He's married to Sarah Jessica Parker. He's a fucking Broadway singer.
Yeah.
So he's like, oh, hi. And these guys have earpieces, tats, big and shit. And he's like, how are you? And they're like, good. And he goes, and the guy looks at him and says, you a good kid, you in the neighborhood, huh? And he goes, yeah, I live just, and he goes, yeah, all right, anybody gives you a problem, you let us know, all right? And so Broderick goes, cool. How would you find him, though? And he goes, we find him.
Yeah.
We'll find him. Fucking awesome.
Yeah, man. It's just, they were saying how, the reason why the mafia now, and we've talked about this because that RICO Act, Governor Giuliani started it, where now, if you get caught with mafia shit, you go away for 2 years, man. So these guys, they're saying now the mafia, this was the rabbit hole I went down. I was like, is there still an Italian mafia? And there's still the 5 families, but they just operate completely different. They don't want any attention. They want zero attention now.
No.
They were pissed how famous John Gotti got. They didn't, because it brought all the attention on him. So they hated it.
That was rule number 1. You never do that. You can't be famous and a criminal. They found the number 1 Chinese triad guy, the fucking guy who ran the Chinese mafia, the most powerful, he had a food cart.
In Thailand?
And it was in New York City. Oh, wow. He had a fucking food cart. He was making food. just like completely like what? I make food here. What do you mean I fucking?
I guess the number one like mafia guy right now who's still out and about, and he was on FBI's top 5 list. He's a Russian, but he gets exempt because he's with Putin. Putin gave him an exemption, so he's in Russia now.
Well, Putin's the biggest gangster, so yeah.
Correct. But this guy was on FBI's top 5 for years, and
now he's in Russia.
And they can't touch him. Americans can't touch him.
No. That's a whole different.
But it was interesting.
That's a whole fucking different thing.
Oh, dude. It's scary. But it's different, too, with John Gotti Jr. Because, when his dad went away, he wanted his son to run it. And he's like, I have 4 kids, man. And he went away for, I think, tax fraud. He went away for like 6 years. And then he was like, when I'm out, I'm done, man. So they have the video of him telling his dad he wants out. And his dad, even then, man, is just tough as balls. Just like, oh, you're gonna give in, man. He's like, I don't want this life, man. I want to raise my fucking kids. Like we're all
Gotti was the real deal. I knew Gotti's lawyer, Bruce Cutler. I did a show with Bruce.
What they call him, the Bulldog or something like that?
Yeah, Bruce looked like a gangster. Bruce was thick as shit, very smart, great guy. At the time, he was defending Phil Spector, and Bruce told me, he said, I have defended very formidable men. That guy lived it. That guy was as real in every sense of the word as it was. He was just fucking, he was, I guess, the guy who played for keeps, willing to go away forever. But then he did turn.
Yeah, well, they said his rule was he didn't want anybody around him who didn't serve time in prison because he only trusts guys that were from the street. And then Sammy the Bull, who eventually ended up, snitching on him, never served any time in prison. But for whatever reason, he trusted him, and it ended up being one of his downfalls.
Well, yeah, because Gotti started telling on Sammy the Bull, though. So a lot of it was that Sammy the Bull, because for the first time, I remember this very well, in New York, Gotti they tried to kill Sammy the Bull's, I think, sister. And that was very, very, like, the Mafia never did that. My grandfather, who was Sicilian, 100% Sicilian from Brooklyn. And his father helped a lot of guys when they came over, and then some of those guys went on to be other stuff. But I'll give you an example. Somebody broke into our house, my grandmother's house, took all her jewelry. My grandfather called the guys that he knew. He just called them and said, because, he said, hey, and he wasn't a gangster at all. He was an import-export guy. And he had a factory. And he said, hey, they broke into my house and took my wife's fucking jewels, these scumbags. I want them back. They got those jewels back. They got those jewels back in 3 days. Jeez. All of them. Yeah, because they knew. They went, you can't, there's certain people. It was in the neighborhood. We used to live in Westchester. I'd have to check out exactly where, but what Sammy the Bull's house was right next to, very close to it was on the same street, Grant Avenue.
Well,
somebody check that out. I might be wrong, but I think that's what it was. They lived on Grant Avenue, 928 Grant Avenue.
With John Gotti, he had a son who was 12 at the time, and he was on a bike, and one of the next door neighbors ran him over. And so the family was in mourning, right? The son passed away. And then the mom wouldn't come out of the house. She was so heartbroken. She would come out of the house. Well, the guy who ran over the son lived behind him. He was the neighbor behind him. They see he's throwing a party. He's having a party. Months later, he's throwing a party. So the mom flips out. She's like, what the fuck? Goes over, chases the guy with a bat. And while the guy's getting chased, the guy fucks up and goes, what was your 12-year-old son even doing on a bike in the street in the first place, lady? And the mom just goes, really? Okay. Walked in the house. Obviously talked to her husband, John Gotti. You know what happened to that guy?
Yeah, he disappeared.
Yeah. 2 weeks later. They've never heard from him since.
They never saw him again.
Never again. And they had witnesses, and when they found out it was John Gotti, all the witnesses went, actually, we didn't see anything.
During the first trial with Gotti, they had guys, if you were a juror, they would just have guys standing there at your door, and you'd come in, they'd go, you Brendan Schaub? And you'd be like, yeah. They'd be like, okay, we're just checking. This is where you live? Cool.
Yeah.
And you'd see them, and you'd be like, oh, well, this is a fucking disaster. So the good thing about this country that's different than other countries, and the reason the mafia wasn't able to take over was, as powerful as they were, you couldn't have one ethnic group taking over another. So the Italians, when they got very powerful, they were still bucking up against the Irish police force. And the Irish weren't going to take that shit. And then, of course, you had a lot of very good Italians who were also cops. But this country's strength has always been its diversity, including in fighting crime, because you couldn't have one. In Mexico, the problem is you have one. It's one kind of, it's an ethnically very similar. So it's hard. But in this country, we're just too diverse.
Interesting too about the Italian mafia is it was always a way of life for them. Like they made enough money to stop, but the Irish mafia, the Jewish mafia, the mafia, the money they were making was a means to an end. They didn't want their kids to get into it. Where the Italian mafia was like, no, this is what we do. This is part of our tradition. Where the Irish and the Jews were like, nah, man, we're gonna make this money and get the hell out.
There's a saying where they used to say, the Jews, when they were gangsters, put their money into their kids' education and into buildings and infrastructure. The Italians put their money in mattresses. And it's kind of, in a way, a lot of times, it's like the Italians were just tough. There was a whole thing, Man. Yeah, when you were a Jewish gangster, your son was was becoming a lawyer or a doctor. It wasn't, we got to do this, but my son's gonna fucking,
Well, John Gotti sent his son, John Gotti Jr., to the military academy because he wasn't doing well in school. He's like, we got to do something. He's like, I'll go to military school. He's like, all right, I'll send you there. So he sends him there. And John Gotti Jr. was like, I didn't get why my dad was so adamant about me going there. And then he'd come visit me. He's like, Jesus Christ, it's cool. My dad's coming. Well, his dad was coming because he was doing business because the other gangsters' kids were there. And then also Donald Trump was there, so like they're doing business. So he'd like, it's so cool. My dad's coming to see me, but he'd be like in this big meeting all the time.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Really?
Yeah, they all sent their kids to this military school. All the top gangsters did. And Donald Trump went there too.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I know.
My dad almost sent me to military school.
Yeah.
I remember my dad sold me this. He sold it this way. He goes, let me tell you something. When you can bounce a quarter off your bed after you've made it, there's no better feeling in the world. And I was like, fucking, that's your selling point, bro? That's your fucking selling point? And not a girl to be found? Not one girl anywhere? I'm going to go to an all-boys military academy in a high school? Get the fuck out of here.
Bounce a quarter off the bed? I don't give a fuck.
I'll stick to wrestling and girls. Fuck off.
Man.
My liberal school in Massachusetts, my boarding school.
I was,
Did I ever tell you what a therapist said about when I said, he asked me about my childhood, and I was like, well, I mean, I was moved every fucking 2 years to a different country, and when I was 14, I was sent to boarding school. My family was in Saudi Arabia. I was sent to boarding school for 4 years, and the therapist goes like this. He goes like this. He goes, oh, they threw you away.
Oh, God damn, dude.
And I was like, well, no, hey, why? That makes me feel bad. What are you trying to get me to cry? No, they didn't.
I was looking at the school systems in Texas, in Austin, Texas, and I was just looking at more school systems in Texas. And you know why the public school system out there is like the best in the nation? Do you know what? You have any idea, B?
I don't.
I bet you could figure it out.
Because they stick to real education, tried and true, reading, writing, arithmetic, and critical thinking, something that's been lost in our higher education system.
I mean, yes and no, but Barbara Bush and the Bushes put so much emphasis on public school education because she was a teacher that they put so much resources into it. The public school systems are some of the best in the world.
Good.
Isn't that interesting? Yeah.
We need it because the problem is now, what kids are going to be taught. You watch, be careful. Watch what kids. It's one thing to say education. Education what? Who's teaching them? What subjects are you teaching them? Soft subjects where there's no real science behind it? You teaching them critical thinking? You teaching them reading, writing, and arithmetic? You're teaching them the things that they need in life? Are you teaching them are you a teacher or are you a political activist? Yeah. You watch. Yeah, watch what they try to get into the curriculums. Mm-hmm. And we have to push back.
We have to.
Push back. Yeah. Yeah.
What else
anybody who's this, anybody, any of that stuff is not good.
No.
In colleges for the most part, you know,
Hey, let me
can't have
huge dick real
one
quick.
particular
Let me pee on my huge giant dick real
belief
quick.
system.
Let me pee real
What's
quick.
that?
I'm gonna pee on my huge giant dick real quick.
Piss. Go piss. Well, kids, it's just us.
Just us.
Kat, how do you feel? You're 25.
I'm good. I don't know. It feels the same. I go back and forth between forgetting that I'm not 19 and feeling like I'm 37 on the inside.
That never goes away. By the way, when I just shifted my eyeballs, they hurt.
Oh, how are your lids? Are they fully healed?
They're good, but my COVID is not making it very happy. My mother doesn't help. My mother hits me with stuff like this. Men fall off a cliff after week 2. Be very careful. I want you to go get a meter that measures your blood level oxygen, your oxygen level in your blood, or you can go blue. And I'm like, all right, would you fucking take it easy, doomsdayer? My mother's calling me every 20 minutes to see if I'm dead. My sister. The women in my family, they like to create lots of drama.
To be fair, what else is there to do now?
Hello.
No, you're right. You're right. I'm saying that the women in my family tend to, like, my mother's telling me I should be checking my blood oxygen level, and I could fall off a cliff on week 2 because a lot of men, she knows 4 men that fell off a cliff. They were fine, and boom, and so she's worried about me, and I'm like, all right.
Fell off and like they died, or they just got worse?
Well, their
No,
symptoms.
you get worse.
Yeah, how about I told my dad, I finally told him, and I tell him, I go, Dad, I actually have pretty mild symptoms, not that big of a deal. And then pause for about 5 seconds, and he goes, yeah. It's like, come on, man.
That's fair.
It's like people want you.
Know.
It's like people want you to have worse symptoms. Like, what's wrong with people, man?
A lot of people wish we were way sicker, and I don't blame them, because we've been talking a big fucking game like idiots. We've been fucking like blah, 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 blah about COVID. Now both of us have it. I'm fucked up. I deserve it.
Yeah,
I wasn't careful.
Here's the thing.
I don't know how. By the way, you know how we got it. I'm telling you how we got it. You can say whatever you want. When we're coming off stage, first of all, it didn't help that we
shared a mic too. We shared a mic.
It's not that. I'm going to tell you what it is, because we all came there negative. What happened was we happened to have gone to the one county that was the hot spot in the United States. We got an Amber Alert on our phone Saturday.
Well,
show's got to go on.
Stage, we got an Amber Alert.
I mean, yeah, that's crazy, because remember when we got there Thursday, I think it was Friday, that cases had spiked in Arizona and Texas. So I was like, oh, but we were already there. And so we were in the hot spot in San Antonio, and we were on stage with 350 people, whatever, who were laughing in our direction.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's an aerosol. And then when we got off stage, because of the way LOL Club is, we had to walk through the entire crowd. People are standing up and they're talking to you, Bryan, Brennan, and they're laughing, and so you're getting all of that spittle.
Yep.
That's what happens.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Yeah, I mean, so aside from being in a hazmat suit, that was going to happen. Mm-hmm. The larger issue is, should we have gone in the first place? But I say, well, the Board of Health and the state and the club okayed that. They okayed it. In fact,
if I could
to the point where we weren't even restricted. I think we were allowed to be more than 75% of capacity.
Yeah, I know. I mean,
so
if I could redo it, I wouldn't have gone.
Me too. I've been humbled. Again, I apologize. I understand. Everybody has to be more careful. Listen to us talking now. If you've been exposed, you just got to be more careful. And I wasn't.
What else you got, Chin?
All right. There we go.
Okay, so a Spanish politician had to resign the other day because while he was on a Zoom meeting, he was afraid that he wasn't going to have enough time to take a shower and then go run his errands shortly after. So he decided to minimize the Zoom meeting, which he thought would shut off his camera, but didn't. And he took a shower. He brought his laptop into the shower with him so he could still talk and be a part of the meeting while he took a shower. And very quickly, a bunch of people realized what was happening. He had a lot of colleagues try to call him, give him a heads up. People in the meeting were kind of looking around like, is someone going to tell him? someone could let him know that he didn't exit it out. And he ended up, there's, I think, a couple photos going around of him.
So he made a mistake. Does he deserve to lose his job because he took a fucking shower?
No, he didn't get fired. He chose to resign himself.
Why? Why resign?
I don't know exactly why he chose to resign. I think it's something along the lines of he thought it was a bad look for the office if he stayed.
No, somebody said that to him. That's what he was forced into resignation.
All right, watch the bottom corner right here. And it's already blurred out, but you can see he shows everything.
He shows his dick. Again, middle bottom seems to be liking a little too much.
Look, right there.
Fucking,
It's like right there too, you can see it.
Well,
you shouldn't have to resign, for God's sakes.
No, it's just this. I mean, you could be in better shape, but fuck it.
He had like a pretty big. You can find the footage online somewhere.
Oh, he had a big chin.
I think that's even better.
You should get a promotion.
Yeah.
And
what is going on?
He ended up saying that he was not embarrassed by being nude or anyone seeing him nude, and that's why. He was working with someone.
He's like, "What's up, baby? My bad, dog."
Yeah.
All right, next one.
Okay, so in Mongolia, there have been multiple cases of the bubonic plague coming back, and
that's been going on for a while.
Yeah,
it's been going on for a while.
They're currently at a level 3 warning, which basically just means that they shouldn't be eating anything that would be associated with rats.
Yeah, it's this one particular ferret or whatever that is that carries it. Yeah. This has been going on for a long time. This sounds like more like news, because in Mongolia, that particular rat carries this. So once in a while, they got a fucking case. So it's like, hey, COVID, let's add to that with bubonic plague.
Yeah.
The Black Death.
Ken, do you guys have? All I do is read news, right? I don't look at social media. All I do is fucking read news while I'm quarantined. Have you guys seen the great white shark attacks and the tiger deaths?
No. What is that?
Yeah, some lady. She was she worked at a zoo in England, and someone messed up and left, one of the doors up or down, and she was washing the window, and the tiger went, "Oh, well, cool," and it severed her spine. And then mauled her arms and legs.
Killed her, obviously, right?
Oh, instantly.
Severed her spine.
And then severed her spine.
It's a tiger. It's a tiger. That's what they do.
They severed her spine.
Well, that's what they do. They bite you in the back of the neck and they crush your,
And then in Australia, I think there's been already, just in this summer, there's been 3 deaths by great white shark.
Jesus Christ.
Jesus.
I don't like that at all. No. Also, I'm not swimming in Australia. It's rare. Don't care.
That's what they keep saying. It's rare. I'm like, I hear about it all the time, man.
Yeah, they have box jellyfish. They have fucking great whites. There are too many things in Australia that I'll stay on the sand. I'm not getting in that water. I told you a long time ago, the girl, I was dating a girl who, she said, I have to go back to South Africa. I said, why? She said, my sister's fiance was killed right in front of her. She just saw blood, and they never saw him again. A great white just went, I'll take him.
I don't mean to laugh, but it's just
I know. They were in the water, and she said, I just heard a splash, and I saw blood, and I never saw him again. He just disappeared.
It's like
a giant fish that had to have been, God knows, and took him entirely. Dude. It's like these scientists were down there with these cameras, and they were studying great whites. And whatever, one of the great whites went, I'm turning around and I'm going to eat you. It took the guy and just went down, and that was the end of that.
But that's what they do, man.
I would imagine.
But it's also like this shark, this great white who bit this dude's leg off and killed him. They had a drone over it. It was the biggest great white you've ever seen. And because if it kills a person, they usually want to try and kill him. Well, that shark went, oh, man, it seems like I upset people. Well, I'm just going to go super deep. And then they lost them.
That's right.
Yeah.
Oh, because it's the ocean? Oh, you mean because it's a mile deep?
Yeah.
See you guys later. Thanks a lot for the leg.
Yeah. Dude, it's such a
Also, I don't think you should kill a great white for that because it's a
me
great
neither.
white shark.
Yeah.
I mean,
the tiger, I guess, makes sense, although it's like you have this tiger in
that's not fair either because the tiger you have to keep in a cage because it's a tiger.
I know. And they're like, well, once the tiger tastes blood, it's like, all right, well, don't put it in a position to taste human blood again. Don't kill it.
Well, yeah, I mean, I obviously a terrible tragedy for her family.
It's awful. I should have sent you guys those cat and chin. I don't know. I'll send them next time.
Giant great white like that? Fuck.
Huge, dude. Huge.
That's like San Diego. Every time I'm down in San Diego, I remember this very well. I'm looking down there and I'm like, man. And they were having a triathlon or a big group swim, and I'm like looking at all the seals as they're swimming that big, fucking blue water, that deep water, and I'm like, I just feel like there's a lot of splashing going on. Well, Brendan, about a month later, a dentist or a doctor or whoever he was bitten in half by a great white in exactly that swim thing. He was swimming, and a great white was like, you know what? You're slower than a seal, and I'm hungry. I
mean, if there's a way to go, that's it, man.
I guess.
But obviously, it doesn't even make real big-time news. You guys didn't even know about it, for God's sakes. So now even that's not making news.
Yeah, it's rare.
All right, you want to see this video? This is a CTA, I guess it's Chicago Transit Authority, bus driver slamming a dude. I'll just show the video first.
Man, stop that shit, man. Damn! Oh, bro. You better get your ass on, boy.
Damn, that's a strong dude.
Man, stop that shit, man.
Damn.
Holy shit, he picked him up easily.
Did he break his back?
The guy he's walking, so he seems like he's okay, but he's suing. I'm sure he's suing, and he wants them arrested.
Yeah, but that's south side of Chicago. The south side of Chicago is where 100 people were shot in one weekend. Okay.
Well, just last weekend, and I think 14 people died. Out of the 14, like 6 of them were fucking kids, man.
Yeah.
It's terrible.
Yeah, this is my issue with these protests. It's like the real fucking tragedy is that there are a lot of, in these neighborhoods, a lot of black on black crime. It's not, I mean, it's horrifying, tragic.
It's such a shame.
So just,
well, you need the police for that.
A little background on that story. I guess the guy that got slammed, he was in the bus, and then the bus driver stopped to talk to another bus driver, and he said it was for like 10 minutes. So he was telling him that he was not being professional or whatever. So finally, that's his side of the story, though. The guy that got slammed.
So who was the guy he flipped like a salad?
That guy was just someone who was on the bus that complained that they weren't being professional because they stopped the bus for 10 minutes. That's what he's saying. So then they got
man. You got to get going. He's chatting the night away.
It was also at 2 a.m. in the morning. I'm just thinking that maybe this guy was probably being, a douchebag and talking smack. I don't know what happened to him. But he got slammed.
By the way, that's got to suck.
Yeah.
All of it's got to suck, man.
Let's go here. This is, so hard to watch. Did you guys see this at all? It's a Yankees practice game. And then the pitcher, they're doing a simulated game, right? They're on the same team. The pitcher gets hit by a ball from the bat. I'll show you right now.
By Stanton, who's one of the best in the world.
The first time that the Yankees are getting a chance to see
That is so horrific. So apparently the pitcher's fine, or he seems okay right now. He said that. He had concussion-like symptoms, CT scan, and it's negative. His message on Twitter was, I appreciate all the support. I feel it a bit right now, but I'm all good, going to try to get back on the mound ASAP. Thanks again for all the encouraging words.
Jesus Christ.
See, I'd be so scared of that. It's always just so scary. That can always happen. It's like, oh.
Yeah. And then this guy who writes for the New York Times, he writes about baseball. He said that the bat hit the ball, and I guess the exit velocity was 112 miles per hour.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Jesus Christ. God.
All right. Here's another one. This is not that new, but this is a Bison and this is a wildlife park where you guys can do a drive-through at. And then for whatever reason, the family in front of them, they let their kids hang out of the window.
I don't know why they do this, man.
So stupid. I'll play this for you too.
I don't get it.
It's some white people shit.
Get inside the fucking.
Oh no. Yeah, I'm gonna close the windows. I don't like this guy. I just closed the windows. He's not gonna hurt you. I closed the window.
So even the person filming it had their windows open, which is weird. But
What, you just headbutt those kids?
yeah, because they're hanging out the window. For some reason, the parents let them hang out the window. So he just, with the horn, actually hit the kid's head. They're saying that the kid is fine.
Yeah, could have killed the kid though, and kids do get killed by these things.
Oh yeah, man. I don't know why
Dumbass.
people want to fuck with buffaloes, man.
And they tell you, they're like, these are wild animals. Do not get out of your car.
Have you
They
ever
don't
seen
give
a
a fuck
buffalo
about you.
person? They're fucking huge, dude.
Yes. Yeah.
Bison.
Even a bull, even a fucking regular bull. Don't go near a bull. I was joking around one time in Wyoming. I got out, got into the pen with a bull, and I was like, ha, 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 and I was ready to run back. The bull just fucking stopped and just looked at me like this. And I was like, all right. My buddy goes, come on, come back in. They can catch you.
Wait, so nothing happened though with your story with the bull?
It came at me. I'm glad you asked.
God,
It
what
came
a
at me.
terrible story.
No, it came at me and it dipped low. And I knew.
I jumped in, the bull looked at me, and my friend said, come on.
I knew to let it take me. I dove, I sprawled, and it came up and it kicked me up, and I went, "Bleh," and I relaxed my body. I did a flip, landed on his ass, and then did another flip.
Hey, what a terrible story. What a terrible story.
What? I got attacked by a bull.
Yeah, I don't fuck with anything, man. No horses, cows, buffalo especially. What else you got, Jen?
Let's not look at this one. This one was funny too. Well, I'll just play this for you. There's no backstory to this, but you'll see.
There you go.
There you go. Are they malnourished? Oh, damn, that's his girl.
That's gotta suck.
He was trying to have.
Man, that's a bummer. Get off my girl.
Oh, this is good news. Remember we're just talking about this guy, the Mighty Ducks goalie? He's 100.
He looks good.
Yeah, there he is. Looks a lot better. He looks a lot better than before. I mean,
A lot better is a strong word, but yeah.
That was him. That was the one before, and then now he looks like this.
Who's his guardian? Who's this guy?
It's one of his closest friends. I think he's a fellow actor. He's always like watched out for him. Fellow actor, model.
Good for him, man. It's hard. He's caught up in that whirlwind.
Okay, this is the last one. This looked so crazy. This guy's a paraglider, and he paraglided on a couch. I'll play the video for you. Hopefully we can play this.
Oh, I saw this. What the fuck?
What? So he designed this thing, right? It's a couch. And I'll play this for you. He's ready to go. And this looks creepy as hell. He's not even tied in. He's not even
strapped in or anything. No. Look how high he gets.
Down here. It is freaky. Look at him.
Look
at him.
That's nuts.
Look at that. This is so scary.
Oh.
I don't know how he's able to do this. Look at him. He's eating chips and then drinking soda. That high up. And then I'll show you his there he's coming in for a landing right here.
Is this Brazil?
He's all smiles too.
Wow, that's kind of fucking. That's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
That is ridiculous.
That is pretty fucking amazing.
What imagine one little breeze would just knock you off the couch too. I don't know.
Yeah, there are a lot of things that can go wrong in that situation.
Yes. So turkey burn.
Oh,
turkey. Damn, turkey looks beautiful.
Yeah, it does.
Turkey's gorgeous. I love Turkey. I've been to the islands.
Really?
Twice. Incredible. Turkey's incredible. Turkey's like Greece.
Oh, wow.
The islands are incredible, and fucking I sailed around the islands in Turkey.
It looks cool.
I haven't done anything like that in so fucking long. I got to get to Europe, and I got to get to everywhere. I haven't done any traveling in a long time.
Just need to get out of the house. Just trying to.
I can't even get out of my fucking house. I'm in quarantine. Now I'm really dying.
Is that it, Chick?
That's it.
Another podcast in the books, kids. Hopefully by next week we're back in studio. Hopefully.
We hope so. Addison is being pushed, everybody. I apologize for that, but I think it's in good taste, and I think it makes sense. And I got to get better, and we got to see what the fuck is really going on with this thing. And I hope we overcome this whole thing. I mean, I'm talking about as a nation, as a world. This fucking COVID thing has shut us down for too long.
We will, kids. Is that it?
Yeah.
This is Fun and Kid. We're out. Remember, fam, this Saturday, UFC 251. What a great way to celebrate the weekend by watching the biggest UFC of the summer and making bank with DraftKings. There's a bunch of underdogs. You got Masvidal, 3-1 underdog. You got Jose Aldo, slight 2-1 underdog. You got Max Holloway, underdog. You got Paige Van Zandt, the biggest dog on the card. Watch the fights, make money, do it all with DraftKings. Sign up with DraftKings, and right now, download the top-rated DraftKings Sportsbook app. Use the code FIGHTER when you sign up. For a limited time, all new users can get a sign-up bonus up to $1,000. That's right, $1,000. DraftKings Sportsbook has a sign-up bonus of $1,000. Just enter the code FIGHTER when you sign up, only at DraftKings Sportsbook. UFC 251 and DraftKings. Make bank. Good luck, batting.